commissioners but Mary. And then Ryan, I can see you, Chief Stanley, Ramona. Is anyone else in the room with you?
Yes, it's Valerie and Chief Flanagan as well too.
Okay, and I see Donald, and I see Colleen. So I think we can get started here. So I know we always love this part, but let's try again the Pledge of Allegiance. So I pledge allegiance
to the
flag of the United
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and
justice for all.
Oh, that was pretty good. Okay, on the approval of the minutes, Bill, you had a correction to the minutes from September.
Yes, under item 2, I believe it was, don't have them in front of me right now. I was listed as chairman for May. That should be changed to commissioner.
Oh, okay. Any other comments or corrections on the minutes from September?
Yeah, this is Donald. On my attorney's report, it said there was we would be having a remediation RE. Just take the RE off. It's just mediation.
Okay.
Just sort of a typo, but just those two things.
Commissioner Tomei, where was that again? The chairman typo?
It was under Roman numeral 2, item 2 in the minutes. Like the second paragraph down.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments or corrections? Okay, with those two changes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and all those in favor, aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any abstain? Any noes? Okay, the minutes are approved. Is there any public comments?
This is Chief Walls, or retired Chief Walls. I just want to thank everybody for last Friday. It was really, really a nice event and much appreciated. I just want to thank everyone for their kind words and all of the very nice comments.
It was a fun party.
It was.
Any other comments?
It's closed.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, I thought somebody else was saying something. Emily is on the line with us. We're going to wait until the financial report, and then we'll open that up for questions. But first, we're going to do the Chief's report.
All right, good evening, everybody. First, I did want to start off by thanking everybody that was able to attend or sent their well wishes to Chief Walls. Again, we can't thank her enough for her leadership at St. John's and her mentorship to many of us, and we appreciate Chief Walls and her continued support of St. John's Fire District as well too. So it's an exciting time to be at St. John's. We've got a lot of things going on. So let me start report. We did fill the assistant fire chief position pending the outcome of a physical and drug screen. I will have him on the next month as well too to introduce you to him. Then we have to discuss staffing in relation to that in executive session as well too. So 9 people started in operations over today, yesterday, and Saturday, and then we've got 3 that are in the academy right now as well too that just started, and their last day of academy is December 3rd. So we attended last week or week before second reading of the budget amendment. They have the third reading is tomorrow night on that, and then currently right now we have open enrollment on the human resources side for the month of October. And also in October, we are doing hydrant testing. So you'll probably see, if you've driven through the islands a little bit, maybe you've seen some of our signs out there as well too. So We had a couple personnel work the triathlon this last weekend out in Kiowa. That everything went well there. We have a staff vehicle that I believe is coming in this month, and then we've got another one on order as well too. That comes in February to meet some of our command staff needs as well too. EMT class will begin on October 20th. I can't remember exact number of how many people are in it, but there are several of some of our new hires and a couple of people we've missed along the way too. So we've got EMT class going on as well. Let's see. We still have, of course, our mask mandate still in effect as well too. And let's see. Statistics. I guess I'm kind of your statistic guy as well too, since I did them this month and haven't really got a chance to hand those off yet too. So if you want to look at your incident response summary in your packet, for Johns Island there was 187 incidents, Kiowa 54, Seabrook 30, Wamua 31. Then in September, a couple weeks ago, we did respond to a significant structure fire, which was in the city of Charleston, but on Johns Island as well, too. For fire prevention, I'll do that as well. There's 45 alarms installed and then 3 car seats as well, too. And we'll be posting for that fire marshal position here, hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday as well, too. I think that's it.
Shouldn't you be changing hats as you change topics?
We are changing hats. That's a little bit of a process, though. There's, I think we've got some good people that will fill those shoes. We just gotta get that done. So
Okay.
we'll have that posted, and hopefully we'll have a short posting on that and be able to fill that spot pretty quickly. And then that creates possibly a potential another position. So. Open there if we decide to keep it internal. So we will see what happens there.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, Ramona, both your financial report, I don't know if you want Emily to go first and then your financial report, it's up to the two of you, but Emily's available if we have any questions about the audit report.
Yes, Emily can go first if anyone has any questions to her. She presented the first draft of our audit in September to the Finance Committee, so she's on the call for any questions from the entire commission.
Yeah, we had gotten the full financials from Ramona, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's been a while. And then right before Emily met with us, Ramona did circulate Emily's PowerPoint presentation. So a number of us did hear that. But Emily is joining us tonight to see, I did attach it to the email that I sent out with the executive session information. So does anyone have additional questions for Emily that we haven't gotten a response yet? I don't know, Emily, it might be an easy evening for you.
I'll take easy.
Okay.
That's no problem.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us.
Sure. Thank y'all. And if you think of any questions that you have at a later date, feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Okay, thank
Y'all
you.
have a nice night.
You too. All right, Ramona.
All right, so we've made it through 1 quarter for September, reporting 75% remaining of the budget is our goal, and we're actually at 77.77, so we're trending as expected. A little bit of savings there, and I'm sure we're going to need it. So bank balance as of September 30th for the operating balance is roughly $5.5 million. This includes roughly $21,000 of outstanding checks. Our LGIP account bank balance is pretty much the same, roughly $11,000. Again, we only earn roughly 90 cents a month on the interest, so that stays pretty constant. Our revenue for September, we collected retiree premiums, small reimbursements as usual. But one item that's different is we received an annexation check from the city of Charleston in the amount of $28,027.58. And then we received a wire transfer from Charleston County for roughly $72,000. And that covers August property taxes. On to the expenses. We have a new IT transition underway. So we expect some additional costs related to the IT line item, but we will monitor accordingly and update you all during the mid-year, which should be starting in a couple of months, believe it or not. And then non-standard overtime for September is roughly $31,000. Our capital projects, zero balance for our 16 and 17 bank accounts. The 18 is roughly $282,000, and the 21 balance is $1.3 million. The 2021 balance went down significantly because we had that prepayment for the Pierce engine truck that we've ordered. And moving on to the dashboard, just to hit on a few additional important points. As I mentioned, the property tax collections for August came in. It was a decrease compared to last year by a whopping $8. So year to date, we have about $156,000 in property tax collections. The year-to-date operating expenditures as of the end of September is $3.4 million, including our outstanding encumbrances. Okay, the year-to-date non-standard is $117,000. Year-to-date salaries, which includes regular and standard overtime, is at $1.4 million. Our vacation and sick is at $156,000, and the staff efficiency for September is 87%. Our COVID-related personnel expenses for September was roughly $4,000. And our current staffing requirement, 1 officer, 2 firefighters, and 1 administrative staff. As Ryan mentioned, that administrative staff, the position was accepted this month. Mm-hmm. For recruiting updates, again, this is a repeat of what Ryan has said. We have 3 recruit firefighters starting October 4th and went to recruit school from October 7th through December 3rd. We still only have 1 workers' comp light duty employee that's been out since September of 2020. And for our COVID vaccines, we have 58% vaccinated based on budgeted employees with 4 vacancies compared to 44% last month. And I'll take any questions. That's all I have.
Ramona, did the city of Charleston give you a breakdown as to what properties were covered by that check?
Yes, sir. They usually send a report to the administrative assistant fire chief, which that report is shared with me, and then the check follows usually a month or 2 later. But yes, we have a breakdown of it.
How does that compare to previous years?
I can do an analysis and get back to you on that.
Yeah, I mean, the question I think we had last year on it was, you know, there's no way for us to really track whether we're getting the 5 years of real estate taxes when they annex property.
Right, that would be correct, because even when they send the report, we may look at the addresses and have discussion on it, but no one's actually tracking when that property hits the 5 years and vice versa. So right. It's kind of hard to track that.
Any other questions?
Years. Oh, that's okay.
Okay, Donald, the attorney update.
Oops, let me, can you hear me okay? Let's see if my volume is on here. So, yeah, most of this will be for executive session, but for this session, there's three things going on right now. Number one, there's the lawsuit with St. John's Water Company about the fire hydrants. And I talked to their attorney and they are open to mediation before the litigation costs for both sides go up. And I'll talk to you more about that in executive session. So that's number one. Number two, we had a mediation with Howell and Howell, and there is a proposed settlement, which we will discuss in executive session. We had a mediation that lasted a long day, but was successful. And number three, the vaccine lawsuit that was filed in state court has been removed to federal court. And there's a telephone conference with Judge Norton, who will be our federal judge tomorrow. That's just a preliminary status. And I will talk to you a little bit more about that in executive session. So there's three things going on right now in our legal world. So to be continued.
Okay. Any old business to discuss?
Yes, just real quick, I believe Chief Wallace touched on this last month. The demo work is still continuing at our main road property. If you drove by today at all, it's about 3/4 of the way completed, I would say. And they've given an estimated time of around October 20th, 25th that they would be completed is what they indicated today. Just to keep that in mind.
Okay. Any new business? Okay, Bill, Building Committee. Bill, can you hear us? You're on mute.
There we go.
There you go.
That's better. Station 4, we've still got the paperwork to be done yet, the closeout documents, as the architect calls it. And it's mostly as-built drawings and warranties and operating and maintenance manuals that need to be put together. So I know that I talked to the architect today, and Choate is working on those items. I don't have a completion date for that. Station 6, Mr. Howell already told you about the mediation that we had. We'll discuss that more in executive session. The patio repairs, the elevated patio and the riser room repairs, purchase orders have been or will be shortly issued to Choate to repair both of those items. We have received a correction notice from the ARB, Architectural Review Board of Keogh Island, regarding some dead landscaping at Station 6. That landscaping needs to be replaced before they will release the $7,500 deposit that they owe us, and also the $7,500 that they owe to Howell and Howell. We can discuss that more in executive session. The maintenance building site. I've been meeting quite a bit this week, or this past couple of weeks, with David Myers of Construction Dynamics, and there's some contract issues to discuss in executive session. As has already been mentioned, the main building is demolished, the house is demolished, so that's coming along well. That's all I have for now.
Okay, Bill, Ike, and I had met with, various representatives from St. John's Fire District, including the maintenance men. And I typed up a list of all the items that we identified for a maintenance building that, is just the first draft. So did everyone get a copy of that from me, the list that we put together from our meeting? If anyone didn't get that, you need to let me know so you can look it over. because I was going to ask, does anyone have anything additional to add at this point? This will probably be our starting point for, when we start to work with David Myers, and we can talk about that more in executive session. But it was a starting point to just document, high level of what we're looking for in a maintenance building. So if anyone didn't get a copy, they need a copy, let me know and I will email it to you.
Hey, Deb, would you please send me a copy?
Yeah.
Deb, this is Ike. Would you send it? You may have, or just send it again for me, please.
I will do that. Okay, Finance Committee. We didn't have a regular Finance Committee meeting in October. What we did is we basically had a bond meeting with Gary Pope and David Cheatwood. And I did send out the new deck that David Cheatwood updated. And I also sent out the schedule, the financing schedule. So again, if anyone didn't get either one of those, either the new bond, it's the capital improvement plan deck from David Cheatwood, or the financial schedule, let me know. But basically, October 29th is when Gary Pope is going to work with David Cheatwood, and they're going to come up with a draft of the preliminary official statement, or what they call the POS. And then they're going to distribute a draft of this rating presentation. So the next working group, which includes the Finance Committee and representatives from St. John's Fire District, is November 3rd. So they'll be presenting their draft to us around November 3rd. And then, if we don't have any questions or, any concerns or requests for update, they, on November 10th, will do a S&P rating call. And then on November 12th, they'll distribute a revised draft of the POS from our meeting and from their call. So then the next time we'll be meeting on the 3rd, when we'll be meeting again on November 17th, and I'll send out reminders of this, but we'll receive the rating that they've gotten. And they're basically going to work on finalizing the paperwork. Gary Pope will finalize the paperwork. That on December 1st is when they'll sell the bonds. And basically from the analysis they did and the discussion that we had, we'll be going out to sell the bonds to the public, because at this point it was a better rating or better interest rate for us to go to a public sale than to just sell to the bank. So that's what they're pursuing. But when we have a meeting in early November, we'll, validate that that's definitely the direction we're going. And so Ramona's working with them to, keep things moving along. So does anyone have any questions at this point about our bonds or the bond schedule? We're basically trying to sell them in early December. Okay. And the only other thing, and Ryan did mention this, but our third reading for our boat trailer slip is tomorrow night. So fingers crossed. Human resource, Steve.
We did not meet, so nothing to report at this time.
Okay, Eric, strategic planning.
We did not meet, so I don't have a report.
Okay. Public or firefighter comment?
This is well, we didn't meet in strategic planning. However, we did have a meeting with Kiowa River to get an update on where they were with their development. And so moving forward, we will schedule a meeting with Charleston County and actually ask them who we should invite as additional potential players or partners in the fire station and whatever other public development they want on those 3 acres on Kiowa River.
Yeah, I had asked Chief Walls to kind of continue to carry that flag and to try to coordinate with Joel Evans, or like you said, whoever from Charleston County wants to meet with us. I mean, the developer basically said that, and I think I have an update here, that that they think they'll reach 200 certificate of occupancy sometime in 2024 if they continue to go at the rate they're going right now. They said they're averaging about 52 houses per year. And right now they have 55 certificates of occupancy. They're still saying that, they would be donating 3 acres, but they haven't really firmed up the location of those 3 acres. So that's why it's important that I asked Chief Walls to work with Charleston County and pull us in when we can coordinate some meetings to find out, because in the developer's agreement with Charleston County, it was not only the fire district that would build, but it might be EMS, it might be a sheriff's station, it might be a magistrate office. So I think they, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were kind of like the 4 areas that we were looking at with planning and zoning from Charleston County, kind of coordinating everything. So the good news is they're still donating 3 acres. And we thought it was important that we really start kicking off talks so that in 2022, we can start working on design of a building, whether it's going to be one building with multiple entities being represented, or with 3 acres, do we have a separate fire station, but there's other buildings on the lot, and how would they be positioned? So as slow as what we know things move, we thought it was important that we have meetings yet this year, and then probably start working on design next year and be ready to break ground in 2024.
That's correct.
Now, the building's going to be, at least conceptually, a jointly occupied building. Fire department.
Not yet.
Police.
Yeah, not yet. No, we haven't agreed on a jointly occupied building, and that's why we have to start these discussions. I personally think it would be cleaner if we had a separate fire station and they had other buildings for the other services. But until we have our first, we've talked to Joel Evans from Planning and Zoning, and he said, he had no idea back, when we talked to him over a year ago. So we need to talk about that. But I'm questioning, when we meet with them, my big question is, if we're going to have a jointly occupied building, how does all that financing go? Because that could get really confusing with having multiple entities in the same building. So my preference would, if we can do this, is to promote a separate fire station. And we talked about 2 bays, but we need to talk about that a little bit more too. But that's my preference. So if we're able to go forward with that and we position it on 3 acres, that if they want to use the property for like an EMS station, even though they're on Betsy Cares, and then, we've also told Charleston County EMS that we would do a 6-month pilot with Station 6, I think it is, for them to jointly occupy Station 6 for Charleston County EMS. We have to figure out, do they need an EMS within Kiowa River? What's going on with Betsy Carrison? If we have this 6-month pilot, how are we doing with them being on Kiowa Island and our Station 6? There's a lot of open-ended questions that I personally have. So that's why Chief Walls and I talked about, we really need to start pushing forward on this and get some of these things a little bit more firm.
So to add to that, and just to answer your question, Robert, we really need to know what the county has in mind as far as what can be on those 3 acres. And the reason that we really need to get started quickly is that the Kiowa River development also has to approve of the plans of all the entities on what conceptually it looks like and what aesthetically it looks like for their development area. So, so that all has to start to come to fruition sooner than not. And I agree with Deb. I think it would be better to have a separate building than, having everybody in the same building and trying to share quarters, because with, fire sirens going off all the time, that's not always very pleasant for your neighbors. But really, there's still a lot of discussion that has to occur. And on the second portion, and Ryan will go further into this in executive session, is, and I see that Deputy Bialik is on this call. Charleston County has not started staffing that station yet. There was still some accommodations or items that they were looking at as far as shorelines or whatever. And officially, no one has gotten back to St. John's as of today in the discussions that I have with Chief Kunitzer on whether or not what the status is of when they plan to occupy and or if they need anything else to do that. And if they do, are they going to basically finance whatever it is that needs to be done that they need. So those are open-ended questions. And I think that Ryan will discuss that a little bit further in executive session.
Any other commissioner comments? Do you want me to go through roll call?
I just wanted
Eric?
to,
Go ahead, Steve.
I didn't get up and speak at the event the other day. So I wanted to congratulate Chief Walls on her retirement and thank you for everything you've done in the time I've been associated with the district. It has been a pleasure and an honor to work with you, and I wish you the best of luck in anything that you might endeavor to pursue in the future. And with that, I'd like to also congratulate Chief Kunitzer on his promotion, and I look forward to working with you. And I'm sure you'll do a great job.
Eric,
Thank
any
you.
comments? Oh, sorry. Eric?
Again, I didn't speak. I was worried about getting long-winded. I saw the chief was getting a little emotional, and it's been a long road. You know, I had just taken over his chair at the time, and I could see what the department needed. We lacked immensely in training, and when we set out to look for a chief, that was our primary objective, was to find somebody who had a good background in training and that would develop the department to where it needs to be. Now it seems to be coming around. There's a line of succession. We seem to be getting good people to come to work here, which is all attributed to the chief. And I appreciate it greatly, and I appreciate the job she's done. And I truly want to thank her for what she's done for the St. John's Fire District. Ryan, you got big shoes to fill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leroy?
Oh, I am going to say, I don't have anything to say tonight. I am, Phil, Ryan, congratulations, and Chief, I'm still finding you a house.
Hope you find one I can afford.
I have a place next door, and we can split the driveway.
There you go. I won't make you sign an agreement.
That's all, Deb. Thank you.
Okay, Bill?
I actually can't add any more to what's already been said. So just good luck in retirement, Chief, and good luck to you, Ryan, as we move forward.
Okay, Bob?
I'd just like to say to Chief Walls, good luck in retirement. We really appreciated your leadership over the years I've been on the commission. And Chief, I don't think you have big shoes to fill. I don't think Chief Walls' feet were that big.
No, I come by it naturally. My dad.
Frank, did you have any comments?
Chief Walls, I just wanted to thank you for your dedication and leadership at St. John's Fire District. Without question, you've left the district in much, much better financial, professional shape than when you arrived. And the community should be very thankful with all the improvements that you made. And you've already started the ball rolling on some very, very exciting things that the community is going to see in the next year or two. So I want to thank you for your dedication and leadership and putting the district in such good shape going forward. Thank you, Chief Walls. Good luck in retirement.
Thank you, Frank.
Ike?
Yes, I'd like just to say it once again, good luck to you, Chief, in your retirement, and get some rest and enjoy yourself. To Chief Ryan, I'm quite sure, I know you'll do a wonderful job, being that you've been in the fire service like our past chief. Just stay focused. have a good vision for the future of the island, and continually thinking about your personnel, their family, and everything will be all right. Just stay focused and have a vision to keep us up pace with the growth of the islands, and everything will be all right. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to congratulate Chief Walls on her retirement, but I also, during executive session, want to let you guys know that I still have a laundry list of projects that she's going to be working on with us. So she's still going to be interacting with us. I'll go into details during executive session. I have at least 6 items. And so that's why she will be continuing to work with us, into towards the end of the year. And possibly, maybe called back for special projects in the future. So we have that understanding. And Ryan, I think you're going to do a great job. I'm thrilled to work with you, and I'm here for you. And I have all the confidence that Chief Walls has in you, that you're going to be a real asset to St. John's Fire District. So congratulations. Any other comments?
Just wanted to say again, thank you to Chief Walls, and thank you to all the commissioners for your kind comments over the last few days. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, we do have quite a number of items to go over in executive session. I added to the email from Ryan on the Zoom meeting, I added the conference call information for the executive session. So if anyone didn't see that information, text me and I will text you the phone number and the access code. So I'd like to make a motion to adjourn to executive session. We need to talk about personnel items. We need to talk about contractual items, and we also need to talk about lawsuits. So we're just going to have a fun time in executive session. So do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye.
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 Okay, I don't know that anybody wants to abstain or say no, but just text me if you don't have the